I'm reading comments. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, really? Well, I'm just using the microphone. Peter, if you're new, I'm just using the microphone on the iMac. So I'm just using the microphone room. I'm not using this mic. It shouldn't be. Let me just check real quick here. Oh, hey, it is a little quiet. It's kind of weird. I can boost it a little bit. I noticed that I was watching Rick Beato's video, and the sound was much better on his video, his live stream, because he was doing this thing where he's talking about the fall that changed rock. Was it 91 when Nirvana came out and all that. And his sound was better because I think he was using, and I need to get this setup happening, but he was using a sound card that was going into his software, OBS or whatever it is. I wish I could see and hear what you guys exactly see and hear, but I do know it's not optimal. It's not high fidelity. So it's funny because Alex came by, and we did a couple of like 6 different songs with 6 different pairs of instruments for his TikTok, and I mean for him for his numbers the TikTok blew up. I don't know if you've seen it, but Alex Strahle, if you go to TikTok, you can see him and I playing, and the kind of the thing that I'm taking advantage of with TikTok is that you can play. There's no real copyright issues at this point. They may come later. And I'm still not teaching song. You only have 60 seconds, so I'm not really going to teach a song. A lot of people are teaching songs, but I could play songs in the explanation of something that I might be teaching. So I'm going to have a bunch of, oh, bummer, Becker. Well, don't worry. Can't you have students? Hey, Lena, thank you so much. Lena just bought me coffee. God bless you. But I'm gonna try to do like a cool pro guitar secret thing. I did one of those, and then a cool tool thing, and then I might do like a guitar hack, guitar life hack or whatever. Like for example, these. I don't know if you know what those are, but we talked about those last week. The Grolsch. What would you call these? not grommets, shoot, seals, the gross seals. What are they called in a like a sink or something when you dang it, I can't think of it. I'm I'm sure there's a Dutch word for them, but that's not the word I want. But oh, nice. Oh, you got your first student from abroad. Okay. So you do, yeah. The hard part is like when I'm teaching crews in London, it's really hard to get those schedules together. A washer, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I'll try to remember that when I want to do. I need to buy another 4-pack of Grolsch so I can have a Grolsch for the video because I don't have a Grolsch in the video. But yeah, so that's Alex's TikTok. Mine is the Strahle. Tom Strahle was taken. And the crazy thing is, I don't think it was me. I did download TikTok for a minute, was kind of checking it out back about a year ago. And then when the Chinese thing happened, oh, sorry, that's not right. That's wrong. Can I delete that? Remove, yeah. It's at the Strahle for TikTok. Okay. So you guys can follow me there too. $1,300 here. Oh wait, what are we talking about? Oh yeah, 1,300 is yeah. So what we're going to talk about today is playing triads, and it's less of the work is going to be your left hand. It's going to be more of a right hand study and exercise, and so that's kind of what we're going to concentrate on. The right now the property behind us, they're cutting down all their trees, which worries me a little bit that they're going to put in a. We kind of like that it was just all like just a bunch of trees and mess kind of back there. Kind of worried us that they're taking it all out because I'm afraid they're going to build like some 4-unit apartment or something like that. I don't know. Well, hopefully not. So. Yeah, Peter, you'll find this is a pretty nice group of people to hang out with. I said pretty nice, not really nice. Lena's really nice, but everyone else is just pretty nice. Just joking. So yeah, and we have a Discord too. So you know what? I can download these or upload these images here to the Discord. Also, I'll upload the exercise thing I did. I forgot about that. I can totally do that. Let me pull up. I need to pull up the Discord. Need this. I don't need this. Where are you, Discord? I got kind of a snark. So I'm getting some new subscribers from Twitch. I mean from TikTok, and it's a lot of younger people, and they're getting kind of snarky. So I'm having to delete comments. Well, I had to delete one. Okay, so if you go to Tom's, where is that? Tom's lesson PDFs. Okay, so I'm going to drag all of these little JPEGs or screenshots here and upload all those. And then also I'll upload the exercise. I don't know if you saw the video I did. Many of you commented. I'll drag this in there too. The octave exercise for finger independence. That thing's really good. So that's there now too. So if you go to the Discord, and I'll put a link. Dennis isn't here yet, right? I'll grab that link right now. Announcements. Oh, we got an announcements page. That's new. Oh, because today's move. That's true. That comes in handy, actually. All right. So, oh yeah, my Twitch page. I haven't done a Twitch. I've only done 2 Twitches, and I had 3 people there both times, and one of them was a bot. that just sits there. Okay, so here's there's the Discord link to join up. So you can join up there and try to use your username from YouTube if you can. That way we know who you are. It's much easier to make that transition back and forth. And then a lot of times discussions continue. People share their music. People share pictures of themselves with their guitars. Bruce, one of our moderators, you can see him right there, is making me a cigar box guitar. Sam, my bouzouki showed up, but it came yesterday. I've been really busy, so I'm going to do an unboxing video, I think, with it. So I may do an unboxing video, not on the live stream, but I'll actually record this and then upload it. And you know, it could be. Actually, it's better not to do it live stream because it could be like the neck's broken off or the strings are all broken or who knows, you know. So that's kind of where, you know, what I want to do. I need more content anyway. I need to do more videos. I've done 2 in the last week or 2. I did the bass one and I did the finger independence one, which is a great exercise. Remember, we used to warm up with an exercise. I don't know if we could do this one. And I did it on the video. I was watching the video and looking at the music and I did it wrong. Well, I didn't do it wrong. I just didn't do it like I wrote it. When I did the B's here, I think I played these 2 B's and it's written this B in the open B. So no one's pointed it out yet. Of course, one of you probably will, just to be a smart blank. Shoot. Now, hard to do this and talk at the same time. Well, not that hard. I'm very talented, you know. It's a great finger pick exercise, and if you want to work on your string skipping, it's really good for that. So on and so forth. Hey, Sham, what's going on? Dash is in the house. I'm so glad, Dash. That makes me happy. What happened to the kid? What was that kid's name that was who was like 18, who was in Scotland but stuck there because of COVID or something? And his little brother called me Smiling Tom or something, or his brother's name was Tom, and he called me Smiling Guitar Man or something, which is funny because anybody here who speaks German knows that Strahle means shining or a light or beam. And Strahle and Strahleman means smiling man. So it's funny because actually I'm not a Strahle. My last name is actually Friedelbaum or Friedel or Friedelbaum or something like that. But my grandfather was adopted by his stepdad, who was a Strahle. So his last name was actually Friedelbaum or something. And here's the other thing about on that octave video, Sam, I forgot to upload the PDF and put a link to it, but it's there now. Somebody had to point it out to me, and I was bummed that I said, oh, I'll do it, I'll get to it, and then I just forgot. It wasn't anything like, I was too busy working for like Beyonce or something like that. I've never worked with Beyonce. Addie. Is that who it was? Addie? That sounds right. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's funny because I get that comment a lot. You know, you always look so happy when you're playing guitar. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't I be? I'm getting paid to play guitar, you know, so you can't beat that. So what we've got are, I've written out 3 triads in G and then 3 7th chords in G. And the 7th chords, again, the only 7th chord that's legitimately in the key of G would be the D7. But the other 7th chords totally sound fine because remember when we did the Mixolydian, we did the Dorian, we ended up with Fs and B flats, and so that they totally sound great. In fact, the G7 seventh chord, the G7th chord sounds great going to the C because you've got that F that wants to lead down to the E, and you've got the B that wants to lead up to the C. Okay, that's what makes the seventh chord. So, in fact, that F and that B, those are the guide tones of the G7 chord. That's the third on top and the seventh on the bottom. So third and seventh are guide tones, and those really are good, strong leading tones oftentimes to the next chord. So if you're doing, and then the pattern I'm using, this is really where the rubber's going to meet the road. This is the difficult part. I'm basically doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. And the reason I'm doing that, I could do 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. I could do like down down up up. And again, that's economy picking. That's the word I was looking for, economy picking. Dang, I need to write that down. Shoot. Where can I write that? Then I'll find it later. Okay, write down everything I say. Here we go. I'll put it on here. Economy picking. And I think I just came up with a name for the next song. Not economical, because we're not going to use economy picking. Economy picking, okay, just because you're probably not knowing what that is. Yeah, John, yeah, exactly. Everything wants to go to the next thing. Yeah. And you can even do like we're not doing drop two chords, but I had a whole series of those videos. The only one that has like over 1,000 views is the first one. Everyone after that's like in the hundreds. Exactly. So what you're doing is you're kind of implying you're in the key of C when you go to that G7, but you're really not. And then the D7, of course, also leads back to G. We have the seventh right here on the C, and the F sharp is the third. And so this wants to lead up. The F sharp wants to lead up to G, open G, and then the C wants to lead down to the B. So you get this thing. So if you play D, I might go. So what? And keep in mind, we're just doing triad sets on the fourth, second, or fourth, third, and second string. We're just on these three strings. So economy picking is basically pick, and it's designed for speed for the most part. But I find that in some ways, pure alternating picking can be faster on triad stuff. But economy picking means generally pick in the direction of the next string. So if you should know what you're going to do, whether you're reading music, whether you're writing music, whether you're improvising music, you should know what's the next string after the string you just hit is going to be. So it's part of the hard part about guitar is like knowing what you're going to do. John, I would learn them both. There's no reason not to learn them both. I think there's useful times for both. If I'm going to do something... See, I'm using the economy picking there. I'm picking down, down, up. And the notes are, or the strings are third string, second string, first string. So I'm picking down on the third string because the next note is on the second string. And then I'm picking down on the second string because the next note is the first string. The first string you would never pick down because you will never be going to a string below the first string. So you'll always pick the first string up. Or in the triad pair, in the case of doing, and this is perfect because the first triad pair is just 3 open strings. So we don't even need to think about the left hand. But if I were doing economy picking, and that's our pattern. So fourth, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. Then I would pick down. This is economy picking. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, and I could totally do that. But to my hand, John, in particular, answering your question, it feels very stuttery, hesitant, okay? It's like, in some ways, John, it's like you have to kind of work out what you're going to do on the right hand, okay? Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to do, okay, if I do economy picking, that means down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, okay? And so that means you have to do more thinking. If you just go, no matter what I do, it's going to be pure alternating. It's almost like you remove the mathematics of your right hand out of the equation, okay? It's kind of like binary. It's like, it's ones and zeros, and that's it. You know, so we got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And the pattern that I'm doing, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, or you could go 4, 2. It really doesn't matter. I might do something like, you know, but to me, it almost feels like, I'm kind of rolling. I'm on a roll. Whereas economy picking, you get to a certain speed, and I tend to flub it up. You know what I mean? If I'm doing something for a long time, if I'm doing something for a long time, it's almost like you lose your concentration or you lose the pattern. So I don't know. If I'm doing like an electric guitar thing, I would probably gravitate towards economy picking. But in the context of bluegrass, it just feels better. Something about it. Again, it's kind of like the whole, John, is the same thing with the C minor pentatonic over the C chord. Sounds great if you're playing in the key of C, but for some reason when you're playing the key of G, it just doesn't sound very good. It's not for people if it's not for lack of trying, it just doesn't really work out. That E flat just doesn't want to be there, So it could be one of those kind of things. But part of the reason I'm doing this 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 pattern, okay, by 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, I mean I'm playing the 3 strings, 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then I'm picking any 2 strings. I could do the bottom string, I could do in the middle string, the bottom and the middle. I could do the bottom and the top. I could do the middle and the top. I could even do, I don't think I would do the bottom twice, but sorry I'm late, Your Honor. My uncle was Your Honor. He was a judge. My Uncle Albert in Michigan. He's actually a federal judge. He was an appellate court judge. One below Supreme Court. He was in 6th Circuit, I think, in Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. He presided over a lot of music cases, actually. The neck is so far away because I'm trying to show you the picking part. Yeah, and the cool thing about triads too, we're not going to touch on it right now. We might get into it, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go with this. Like if tomorrow I'm going to, because we could do the next set of triads here or here. I mean, you can see that the C triad and the D triad are the same, essentially, the same shape. Obviously, the C triad has an open string. And the D triad does not, but the shape doesn't change. So technically, you could just slide if you're playing D, doing something like that, you could totally. But the pattern, the triplet pattern, I think that's a fairly common pattern in bluegrass, from what I've heard so far, and kind of my listening and all that. Oh man, Flat. Well, you can always watch this later. Don't worry about it. I know it's fun to be able to live chat. I know that. I know that I've watched live streams, and it's fine. I don't really do a lot of live chatting when I'm watching like Rick Beato's thing, especially on Rick. The stream just hauls. But I think some of this is kind of emulating a banjo sound in some ways, because so many of the banjo, a lot of times you're playing with a thumb and two fingers, and you're doing the banjo rolls are triplet groupings. It's like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3, or sometimes it's 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3, or sometimes it's 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3. And that's the other thing, is we can change the pattern. So right now we're doing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2. Now I'm using economy picking just then. John, it's funny. But we're using that string, that string, that string, same thing, and then pick any two strings. But I could go 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3. What would that sound? Oh, that's hard. See, that's something you would have to practice, and I will. I may write that into the song. That might be kind of fun. Because I was trying to think, how can I write a song with this? So maybe because when I do the song, it'll be eighth notes. It'll be a lot slower. So, for example, over the song, we gotta close it, or not close it. Oh, let's go away from it. Oh, shoot! You know what? I'm gonna pin the Discord link. Sorry, I'll pin it so you can join. So anyone who's new, there'll be a pin message there. I could pin merchandise up there. Oh, was anybody talking about like, where's Tom? I didn't even notice that. Announcements. Let's see. Chit chat. Was it like from yesterday? I was doing a session yesterday, working on. Oh, cool. David Sillers is back. I saw this. Oh, that's a cool color. Wow, that pickguard really pops on that guitar. He's got that kind of, I don't know what color, seafoam blue. It's not quite that. It's kind of a cool blue. Okay, so today. But if we do it at the tempo, like if I do eighth notes, 1 2 3 4. If I'm doing it that slow, then I can probably mix it up where we're going maybe group of 3 and then the 2 in the middle and then a 3. So 3 2 3 instead of 3 3 2, and then I can maybe do 2 3 3, and that would be actually really good exercise for me as well. So like do a 3 2 3 would be like. Cool. It's actually really cool. I can see how it would be really useful. Especially him swinging it now. It swung it really. Banjo, I always feel like banjo is kind of swingy. When I pick up the banjo, I always want to swing the eighth notes. You could do this if you want to do that D7. I like this that C note on top because it gives you that melodic tool of being able to take that C down to B. So, for example, if I'm playing that, you know, you got that. Yeah, I like that, but you can still do. So yeah, if you want to play an alternate for that D7, you could totally do XX021. You hear the gardeners back there? This could be a D7. There's no third in there. That's the thing you're missing. You don't have an F sharp. But hold on a second, I'm getting a message. From the composer I worked for yesterday. So yeah, I was working on the Jerry Lewis show. So yeah, if this is, I mean, it's a great. That's a toughie. It's got the pinky way out there, and you're down in the very first position, so it's the frets are about as big as they can get. So that's a toughie. Again, keeping the thumb behind the neck really helps. Sorry. How do I do this? There we go. Dang it. There we go. So you can see where my thumb position is pretty much for that chord, but the rest of them. I mean, actually, I could play it like. So maybe I do something. Yeah, something like that. It sounds really kind of fun, right? A great, like D to G lick. So slowly, the pure alternating picking would be down, up, down, up. That's the kind of the weird one. So down, up on that. So we might have to practice. Might even just practice this down on the second string and up on the D string. And you kind of get this your hands bouncing kind of thing. When I do that, if I do, this is economy picking. The other thing about economy picking, John, is it. To me, economy picking almost makes it sound like 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Right? And if I'm doing a pure alternating picking, to me it feels more like 1 and 2 and 3. I don't know why that is, but that's just my little. So like I said, it's down, up, down on that. We can practice that too. But like I said, the hard part's going to be playing down on the second string and up on the fourth string. And that should be the pattern, okay? So I'm playing fourth string, third string, second string, fourth string, third string, second string, fourth string, third string, and that's it. Okay, that adds up to 8. That's 8 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, and like I said, you could do alter. You can move those around. You could start with a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Shoot. But that middle one was kind of cool, where I put the 2 in the middle. Went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's kind of cool. The reason I like it is because when you end with that 3, the triplet, you got the B string involved. Okay, so it makes for a nice resolution like that. Okay, but let's not worry about that one. Let's just try to get the first one, the 3, 3, 2, 1. So you have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then again. So I'm going to go even slower. Hopefully you can kind of see my picking hand. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then start over again. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And kind of the hard part is to loop that pattern. That will take a little bit of time as well. You know, to think of it as a pattern by itself rather than just keep looping the triplet. Now, if I was going to play a 16th note pattern, see, 3 plus 3 plus 2 is 8. If I were to do 16th notes over a bar, I could do that pattern twice, which I probably would be most likely to do. Oops. Beats 2, 3, 4. It's hard. But if I were to, I could come up with some different variations. I could do 3, 3, 3, 3. That's 12. And then I could do like a 4 or a 2 2s or a 3 with a 1. You know, I don't know. Yeah, so I might do some 1, 2, 3, and then just hit that G. It's hard to get this thing. But I love the sound of that 3 over the 4 bar. Alternate picking, exactly. I love the sound of the 3s going by over the 4. You know, the doom, doom, ba da 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 da. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You know, it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. The accents fall on different spots, so it's the downbeats fall on different parts of those 3s. So that's really kind of fun. It's the same thing as if you're doing a 3-note, you know, like a. Hey there, Mamba, what's going on? Okay, so down. Let's do this again. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And you're probably going to have to look at your hand. You might even have to tilt your guitar back a little bit. Down, up, down, up, down. And like I said, the hardest moment in that is when you're playing down on the B string and then up on the D string. The second time you play that B string, you're playing it with an upstroke if you're doing a 3-3-2 pattern, okay? So the second time you play the B string, you're playing with an upstroke, and it's easier to play a downstroke on the low string after, because for that split second, you're technically doing economy picking. You're picking in the direction of the next string. In fact, the first note you're playing it technically is economy picking because you're plucking down, but we're really not thinking, obviously not thinking economy picking, but the interaction, the interplay between the first time you play the B to the D string is different than the second time. The first time you're playing down, up, and the second time you're playing up, down. So it sounds complex. The idea is to just, you know, you can play this with all downstrokes, so you can get, so you can hear melodically what's happening. But ultimately, it's pretty easy once you get your hand flowing. I find it's easier than I can't do economy picking that fast on that lick. So yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I might use pure alternating picking on something like that. If I had to do it really fast, I probably would do that. I don't even know. Until it hits. I've got a session today. In fact, I've got to bug out, by 11, because I've got a camera crew coming over here to film me working, which just not. It's just not fun. I mean, it's I don't mind it, but I don't know how much work I'm going to get done while they're here, and I got to have all this music done today. So they're going to film me playing for like an hour, and then interview me, and then and it's for the game company that's doing. I guess they're create. It's like behind the scenes footage. It's maybe for they have a YouTube channel or something. I don't even know. I don't even know who the game company is. So to be honest, Ark, how's it going? Good to see you. We've got to drink the game. I'll touch my face and we can all take a sip. If I touch my face, we take a sip. If I use air quotes, if I say I had a band in high school called, if I mention the fact that I played all the guitars on Apex Legends, that's also, if I leave the room, if I say there won't be a quiz on this, if I change guitars. Lately, we haven't been doing many, I haven't had many infractions lately. So yeah, it's perfect that the first chord is just open. And actually, you can do the seventh chords too, is fun. I like the G7th chord. So it's just the third finger on the third fret of the D string. So if you want to have a little something to mix it up. So the possible patterns here, like I said, are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You could do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You could do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those would be all the patterns that you could possibly do of this little triad. And I think I will mix it up a little bit in the song. The song may be a little bit on the boring side. It actually may sound a little bit more like a rhythm part, which is totally legit. So if you're playing rhythm... That sounds like Last Train to Clarksville, doesn't it? The guitar player, I just watched an interview with him. That was, I'm pretty sure that was Louis Shelton. And he moved to Australia, which is funny because I wonder if he moved there first or Leon Gaer did. I worked with a bass player in LA who was a pretty busy LA bass player named Leon Gaer. Gaer, I think his name was. It may have been pronounced Gear. And he moved to Australia pretty much at the peak of his career, and I was kind of like, why would you do that? And then I didn't know that Louis Shelton moved there years ago. He's been in Australia, I guess, for 30 years or so, or longer. And maybe it was, maybe that was part of there was like an exodus. I don't remember hearing about it. I only heard about Leon, but I didn't know Louis moved. But Louis was one of my favorite guitar players as a kid, without really knowing it. But he played on all the Seals and Crofts stuff, and I was a big Seals and Crofts fan. Diamond Girl and those two records were great, and Louis played some really nice solos on those records. Yeah, everybody's busy picking. That's good. I'm glad everybody's working on this pattern. So I can, in the song, I could go. Not sure what I would do, but and then so I was thinking about just showing you like G triads, but the three G triad shapes up the neck, and ultimately that we're going to get there. We're going to do some of that, but I decided to show you the triad sets in the position and then go to the next position. Not sure what we'll do for G7. We can do that. C7, G7, probably do that. So I'm not sure if I'll do that tomorrow or next week. You know, we will spend a week on each of these triad shapes. I'm not sure. Probably at least spend a week on these sets, and then maybe we can learn all the other sets in 1 week. If that makes sense. Okay, so but the little triad things sound great in the middle of a solo, you know. They sound good, kind of interspersed within your solo, within a solo. So that, you know, ultimately, if I do write some songs that have no limits and could go from any scale to any scale, and we could even do that we could even analyze. I was, you know, looking at what was the song, the country song. Actually, it never leaves the key of C. Beaumont and Rag. Every single note is in the key of C on that melody. Well, I take it back. There's a. Let's see, is that right? I guess there's an E flat on the C, which is so the song's in the key of C, but it starts on the 5 chord. So that's the Beaumont Rag is the one that has the turnaround. That's it does that kind of almost like a pseudo circle of fifths kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, John, no worries. Sorry, I know. Thank you for joining me on a Tuesday. And yesterday's session went well. As always, whenever I work for a gym, we always go for in and out after the session or in the middle. It depends on how much it wasn't very much work. We only worked about an hour, and then we went to lunch and hung out and talked, and then I headed home. So it wasn't a long session, but it was in the morning, so it just works better for him. And he had to get the files to somebody else to mix. So I have to. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, what's this? And so. All right. So let's see, what else have we got? So we're starting to get some viewers here. I was just hanging out. Okay, so let's play the G shape. Just strum it like this, just those 3 strings. Oh, you showed up yesterday? And like, how long, Holly? How long did you sit there before you realized I wasn't logging on? Like, was it 9:04 or was it more like 9:34? Because I know you're in my time zone. So we got the G, and then go to the C. I've got you all well trained. So just you can practice that right there. Okay. All right, now let's grab this one. I didn't put a fingering in there, but and I did put the note names in there, which is kind of a new thing. I wasn't going to do that originally, but then I kind of went, you know, let's try to get some education happening here. However, there will not be a quiz on it, or will there be? So everybody take a sip, a celebratory sip. So we have F sharp, we have an A and a D. That's the D triad. It's just that normally we'd start on D, F sharp, A. As you can see, I listed the triads up there. D, F sharp, A. And then the 7th is in parentheses. So there's the D7. That's one. Another one we could do is that C7 shape. If we wanted that D7, we could just slide that C7 shape up 2 frets. But I like this D7 shape, which is hard. Pinky on the 4th fret. second finger on the second fret of the third string, and first finger on the first fret of the second string. Sorry. Oh, you're in. Alina, you're in my time zone too. Okay. And that would be a good practice if you can just go from G to the D7. Because in this song, you don't go from C to D at any point. Now that happens all the time. You go from the 4 to the 5 chord. That happens all the time. But in this song, it never happens, right? It's G, C, G. There's a G chord in between everything. So the great thing about playing this using these shapes is that we could feasibly go to the G chord for the open G chord for half of the time. So it's just a matter of getting your hand ready. Right? So basically I just played the G chord, and then I hovered the C chord overward, and I put it down, and I played the G, and then the D chord, which is first finger on the A here, on the first third string, second fret, third finger on the F sharp, and the second finger on the D here. Okay? And you could play it, if you wanted to, you could use your pinky. Your pinky there and make the 7th chord there. You don't need your first finger at that point. That one's a little easier to grab with these two fingers. I mean, with these 3 fingers. Kind of, it's a little tough with these 3 fingers, but pretty easy with these 3. And C7 is the same shape. 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 1st fret. So let's work on that pattern again, slowly. Down, up, 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 down, up. And again, what this reminds me of is when... And it's in that book, Pumping Nylon, the classical guitar book. I forget who wrote it. Guy in L.A. I can't think of his name, but he. One of the things you can do with like in classical guitar is if you're having trouble with a section of music, and you're having trouble with the left hand and the right hand, they're both very complex. So oftentimes that happens. A very, very difficult passage or an entire piece could be really, really difficult. You can break the two. In particular, you can break the right hand away from the left hand and just play. So if it were, say, it was something like that, but you're having trouble getting the 2 hands together, you can start up. You can do the right hand only. And so you're like, okay, 2 notes on this string, 3 notes on this one, 3 notes, 4 notes, 3, whatever, like that. And you can kind of work through it like that, right? And then add this hand in eventually, then you have it down. And that's kind of what this feels like. When I'm playing with no hand on my guitar, my left hand not doing anything, just open strings, it almost feels like one of those exercises where you're separating the right hand from the left. And you can totally think of it that way. The pattern that you're doing here, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, is the same pattern you'll be using over the C chord. So if you get this down over here, it's going to apply to every chord you play on these 4 strings. And we can also go to the top strings. I mean, again, that may come later, but I just really like these 3 strings. I feel like melodically they really come in handy. And again, they're right there in the chord. You can treat it as a rhythmic feature too if you want. And also the other thing too, if you're doing it in a rhythmic context, if you're playing rhythm guitar, you don't really have to be very precise with those. You can kind of hit two strings at once if you accidentally do. Yeah, so I can't play the track, so dang it. But I can show it to you. Alex's TikTok that we did a couple of them. He posted a couple of them. Let's see, where is that? No, where am I going? Oh, here's what I want. So my first TikTok is already up to 9,400 views, but I think that's mostly from Alex's, that one video that we did. Got a lot of follows. Gosh, I've already got, what's this? Oh, here. I've already got 284 follows in less than 48 hours. That's pretty crazy. And I may do another one. These only take like a minute to do. They take 10 minutes to edit, but they take about a minute to create. So as long as I have an idea. And then, so let's see, Alex's. So you can see basically what it looks like here. Me and Alex, we're jamming on SG. I'm playing an SG. We're doing AC/DC. And then we go to Tom Petty, Free Fallin', here in a second. He's playing a 12 string and I'm playing an acoustic. And so you have to go to TikTok to see this. And it's taking a while. There we go. That, and then we went to Redbone. Come and Get Your Love, I think was the next one, because I'm playing electric sitar. So we did Come and Get Your Love. So it's pretty fun. So if you have TikTok, you might want to check that out. Also, I think it posted, I might be able to post this. It's on my Instagram, but it's only up for 24 hours. Yeah, the sitar, and Alex is playing the Beatle bass. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Oh, hey, Deb. Bluegrass on, Tom. Yeah, we're hooked on grass. We have been doing this now. This is week 8. So every week has 3 lessons. So 21, this is the 22nd lesson we've done on. This is a record for any one subject. And we did, if you're new joining us, if I go, do the memories. Last week we did the Dorian scale. We did blues scales in all 3 shapes. We did minor pentatonics or pentatonic shapes. We did Mixolydian scale. We did major blues, and we did major pentatonics, and then we did the major scale to start it. So that was week number 1. And then so on and so forth. Getting better at grouping these lessons. So, and now we're doing triad shapes to kind of give us that tool in soloing and in rhythm. This will apply to rhythm as well. So you're getting whiplash watching. Well, follow me, Holly, if you get one, and I'll follow you back. It is a Chinese company. The concern is that you're giving them access not only to your camera and your microphone, but also to your photos. So it's like, what else? Now, Apple's pretty good. iPhone, they're pretty good about vetting that kind of stuff. They very, very rarely had any kind of whatchamacallit, viruses and things like that. It's part of the reason why, Apple had its resurgence, because viruses were so bad there for a while with PCs back in the late 90s. And then I think really what happened was what made Apple come. Apple wouldn't exist if Steve Jobs didn't come back, and then the iPod didn't happen. So iPod saved Apple. So giving up and the thing is, you realize that the camera on the iPhone is always on, because now you have the face recognition thing. So, it's even when it's off like this, the camera's still on technically. It's doing facial recognition, because if I swipe up right now, it's unlocked. So, Yeah, so I usually put it face down, even though the better camera's on the back. I don't know that that camera's not always on, but you know, I usually keep it face down. So, and they did just have. Did you see that ADT story? Hey, Painkiller, what's going on? You just watched lesson number 2. I know. Dash, is it Dash is on? Yeah, Dash is. I think he's like about lesson 80 now. I think so. He's been watching them all. I don't know. I mean, hopefully there's. It's not really chronological. We kind of jump all over the place. In fact, it's almost stream of consciousness like every individual lesson. The micro is very much like the macro. So, or the macro is very much like the micro, I should say. But that ADT story where the guy basically confessed to watching like how many people, like 120 different homes through their cameras, watched them having sex like 6,000 times. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I always wondered about that. Like, if you have cameras inside your house, I understand having cameras on the outside, but having them on the inside, I mean, unless you're like have one over the baby, you know, the baby crib, like monitoring the baby, or you've got a doggy camera. Okay, my son Jack, he has a camera that they watch their dog. You can watch their dog on the phone, you know. But you just finished lesson 6. Like I said, it's not chronological, so it can get intense. The lessons can be harder than what we're doing right now. In fact, nothing's easier than playing 3 strings open. So there are very few things that are easier than that. But how we're playing them, that's where the complex thing goes. So we're going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And when I'm doing it, notice my hand. I'm going to do it really fast. Notice my hand. It's kind of doing this kind of thing. It's like. I'm kind of getting a weird sound. It's kind of bouncing a little bit because you got to get over the strings, especially coming back to get this string on the upstroke. Down, up, or no, yeah, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Oops, down, up, down, down. Sorry, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's hard. That's a tongue twister. Well, I'm doing 2 things at once. So, and the reason to do this, let me play a little bit again so you can kind of see the context of what we're talking about. Oh, I got turned around. Where am I? Oh, there it is. Here we go. I was trying to change up the chord shapes I was using, but basically, you see what I'm doing there. I was interspersing the triads in the middle of, almost can be treated like, in some ways, almost like a breather for your left hand. If you're doing a lot of, you know, you could even do like the Spinal Tap Devils, you know, and that would Derek Trucks, not his. No, Derek Trucks. Derek Smalls in Spinal Tap, the bass player, which is really, I know him. I actually played for his Christmas party, which was a lot of fun. A couple of years ago, I was subbing for one of my idols, Steve Lukather. I was subbing for him, so that alone was cool. But then to get to play with Lee Sklar, if you saw a picture of Lee Sklar, you would probably know who he was. He's played bass with everybody from James Taylor to Phil Collins. He tours with Phil Collins. That's who he was touring with when COVID hit. But he's got a really long white beard and long white hair, and he plays bass. He's been around forever. He was part of the original band at the Troubadour, which I think is closed now because of COVID. I mean, like closed forever. But that's kind of where Elton John did his first show. In fact, I think in that movie, the movie they made about Elton John last year or 2 years ago, they actually have him playing at the Troubadour. It's a scene, one of the most, the biggest scenes in the movie. And Lee was part of that original band that was like the house band there that played with Linda Ronstadt and I think Jackson Brown and who else went through there besides Elton John? But and then the Eagles. The house band became the Eagles essentially. If you watch the Eagles documentary, the long one, I think it's like 4 hours or something, or maybe it's 3.5 hours. There's an Eagles documentary that's actually really, really, I think it's a really good documentary. The Chicago one wasn't very good, but the Eagles one was really good. And they talk a lot about where they're, how they got started, and then also they talked about how they learned how to write music from Jackson Brown because they were living above Jackson Brown in a house, and he would sit down at 9 o'clock. They would hear the tea boil at like 8:45 or something in the morning. I'm not remembering the story exactly, but they would hear the tea boil and they know, okay, Jackson's going to be playing piano now for the next like 8 hours. And the tea would boil. He'd set the tea on the piano and he would sit down right at 9 o'clock and he would start writing songs. And he would play, it was like the song that he was working on that they realized it was a job, a real job, was that he was working on Dr. My Eyes, and he was playing like the verse to Dr. My Eyes for days and weeks until he found the chorus, and he finally found the chorus. And then and he wrote, just right underneath them there, he writes the song being written. It's a really, really cool story. And that's when they realized, okay, songwriting you can't just, I wrote a song. You got to literally like try to craft this thing. It's a craft. Songwriting is more of a craft than an art. But I think the art in songwriting is not letting it sound crafted, if you know what I mean. I've written a lot of songs where I went, I can hear the craft work in it, which is not good. I've heard a lot of songs where I go, there's a lot of songs that get written that are formulaic, and I can hear that. I think very rarely do those. Oh, I missed a. So yeah, Lena, I'll get to that in a second. And so that's a. I generally won't like a song that I can hear the craft work on, because I'm like, okay, I can hear them trying to, you imagine songs just happening, and sometimes I've written songs where they just happen, but most of the time I would spend time writing songs that were, I spent a lot of time, particularly on the lyrics. I remember one time I was writing a song. I'm trying to remember how it goes. Might be too high for me now. Okay, yeah, I got it. I think I got it. I start on the seventh. I'm singing the melody, and this is the chorus of a song that I wrote. And it was really funny because I was really working on this hard. And again, usually when I would write songs, back in the day when I was writing songs, we were doing kind of like a alternative country, alternative rock kind of thing in the late 80s, early 90s for the most part. My methodology for writing lyrics was to put a target on my chest and fire away. So the songs were often autobiographical, but they weren't like, hey, I'm so great, which I don't know of any song like that. Although I did tell you about that time my friend Tommy Walker was writing a song called Great I Am. It was a Christian song, and his friend came over who wasn't a Christian, saw him writing a song called Great I Am, and it was like, geez, this guy's an egomaniac. But the funny thing was, I'm sitting in the living room, this is before we had kids, I'm sitting in the living room and I'm writing this song, and Beth is in the kitchen cooking dinner, and where she should be, you know, because she's a woman. I'm gonna get mad. I'm getting letters. The emails are already lighting up right now. And I'm writing this song, and after I sing the lyric, I'll tell you what she said. It was pretty funny, but it's like, I got to get into it. I don't remember the verse offhand, but. So it's, I see myself as blind, I think of myself as thoughtless, I feel like I'm so unfeeling, like I don't know what the cost is. I've heard all, let's see, I know I'm so unknowing, I don't care. I've heard I'm also deaf, I had nothing to begin with, and there's nothing left. But I really love that chorus. I love the melody. I love the lyrics. I see myself as blind, think of myself as thoughtless, I feel like I'm so unfeeling, like I don't know what the cost is. I know I'm so unknowing, I've heard I'm also deaf, I had nothing to begin with, and there's nothing left. So that's the chorus of the song. Kind of depressing. When Beth was like, she's in the kitchen, and she's a lot smarter than I am, right? She went to college, she's book smart, she's read a lot of books, she reads like a book a day still, you know, and she goes, did you notice that you said you see yourself as blind and you think of yourself as thoughtless and you've heard your unhearing? You know, I said, yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, it's not called the ironic song, but it's kind of like, that's kind of what that is. Well, thank you, Lena. I appreciate that. Okay, so Lena's question, I got to find it, but you finished lesson 6, so you're going back too. Well, I appreciate it. More interested in singing and play. You were using picking or using figures. Lena, either's fine. They're great, you know. James Taylor, you know, he would totally do, you know, let's see, what is it? He would totally use his fingers. There's oh, you know, I was just thinking, Carly Simon, I think, was another one that played at the Troubadour, like got her started with Troubadour, with the Troubadour band. You know, again, Lee Sklar and I think it was like Don Henley, may have been on drums. Crazy, if you look it up, it's really pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm just hitting, Sam. I'm just hitting G over F sharp. I'm not doing a G over F sharp. I don't want anything that strong. I want it more subtle. I like that tension that's created with that F sharp and the G's ringing out at the same time. You know, that song should be actually, that I should put that song if I do a record, because I thought I'd do a couple vocals, at least a couple of my vocals, and then maybe have a couple other people sing. You missed the song, what? But that was one that I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember what the verses were. Listen. I'm sure I can find it. It's, I'll have to find it. So it's just a G over F sharp, I would call that, and I'm muting the A string with my first finger. So it's so basically it's this G slash. The chord is first, the bass note's second. When you read a slash chord, that's what that means. Okay, and I was playing 2x0033 basically is what I was playing. So where are we? What's our peak here? We've got 35 a couple times. Yeah, not bad. We're at about 30 now. It's cold in here. I need to turn up the heat. I don't think I'll do that now. And I do, like I said, I do need to take off pretty firm 11 o'clock because I have a camera crew coming here at 1 o'clock. I got to clean my office and I got to prep the session so that I can get. The hard part is I've got people coming in and it's like I'm going to try to track, but with them standing around, it's like I'm more aware of them and less aware of what I'm trying to do music-wise. But so the two types of picking for this whole thing is economy picking, which would be economy picking is basically picking in the direction of the next string is what economy picking is, and that's a very good method of picking. I will do it. It's funny because totally fine. See you, Mamba. It's weird, John. For example, like when I play like I need my guitar foot stand again. I think I have a link to this foot stand if you're interested. So far, I haven't broken it. It's fairly well built. There's an Amazon link in the video. If you, oh, you know what? I didn't change the name of this video, did I? I just started the stream. Bruce, how did you not catch that? And I didn't monetize it, so I'm not making any money from this right now. How stupid am I? Let's see, I can do it live though, which is cool. So if somebody logs in now, they would get an ad, I think. But you guys should not get an ad, I don't think. Let me know if you do. But if I'm playing like my 3-per scales, it seems like when I go up, I do alternating picking. When I come down, I tend to do economy picking, which is bizarre. I never noticed I was doing that for years and years and years. I was like, you know, and then, so I don't know why. I don't use economy picking when I'm going this way on the strings, but I do tend to do it this way. And so what I'm doing is I'm going down, up, 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 down, up. But when I'm playing backwards, I'm going, you know, down. Let's see, what am I doing? Up. Let's see. I'm doing like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'm always picking in the direction of whatever the next string is. When I do what I call 3-pers, which I don't think we've done a lesson on 3-pers. We could do 3-pers, but there's a lot of stretching in them. See, like this. Like I would teach them to you, like all of the diatonic scales in the key of G. You know, but I have videos on this, so if you want to look up 3-pers, but just go to YouTube, enter. Heck, you probably just go to Google, enter Strahle. That's how I pronounce my name, by the way. And then the number 3-pers, like that. I think if you did that, yeah, I was just showing off for you, Lena. That was all it was. I think you'll find a lesson on 3-pers. You could, I may have done one video or may have done a series of videos. I can't remember. This is really far back. I have probably long hair and a really blurry screen, and you know, I was using the iMac camera back then for my regular videos. Now I have my Canon, which I need to upgrade. I need to get a better camera at some point. Just trying to justify the expenditure. You know, I'm going to be spending at least $1,000 on a decent camera. So my hope that the cutting down cypresses next door, which is crazy because my hope is they don't destroy my fence. They actually destroyed their fence, but they missed my fence, which was good when a big chunk of cypress came down. Ollie, thank you, Ollie. um, so yeah, I'm trying to remember what is the verse of the song? What is this? I can't remember what the song is called. Dang, what's the verse on this? But like I said, it's one of my favorite choruses I've ever written. I gots to get iPad. Oh, I gots to get paid. ZZ Top. I thought it said I gots to get an iPad. I'm like, ZZ Top never wrote a song called I gots to get an iPad. You could start, like modernizing old song titles. One of the things I have a second camera too, because my camera's still totally fine, and I have an iPhone. If I got the iPhone, was it the 11 or 12, the good one, the best one? I probably that you could use that camera, and those cameras are great. I kind of at some point want to do where I'm filming my hand and things like that, but man, it's I don't. The YouTube thing doesn't generate enough income to justify spending hours editing video, if you know what I mean. Your next big hit, I got to get an iPad. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, John, who are you talking to? Oh, John, okay. Thanks for your kind words, my friend. Oh, John thinks you're amazing, Holly. What did you do, Holly, that was so amazing? I don't know what Holly did that was amazing. I want to know what. Okay, so make this G. Okay, there's the G chord, right? Okay, let's make G7 together. 3, 0, 0. Okay, same 3 strings. We're going to stay on the 4th string, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string. Okay. Take care, Paul. And then C. So that's going to be 2, 0, 1. Okay, and then C7, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and then the D triad, a little hard, but we're going to be 4, 2, 3. And I'm using my 3rd finger, my 1st finger, and my 2nd finger. 4th fret, 2nd fret. And then 1D7 I wrote out is here. Okay, and that's 4, 2, 1. Keep your thumb behind the neck, okay? That'll help with getting that pinky out there. Okay, and go ahead and feel, bring the 1st and 2nd finger right up against the frets. That gives you as much reach as possible. You really do want to generally play right behind the fret. That way you don't have to push down so hard. And I just like this chord because I love the sound of that. Almost sounds Middle Eastern, right? Don't try this one. See, I can put the D on the bottom. That's really... but this one is fun. But if you can't do that, you can just take off the pinky and play the top 2, the 1st and 2nd with the open D string. And that's basically playing this D7 chord, but we're just not playing the top string. Okay? Oh, John likes the song. Oh, that song. Yeah, that was awesome. I was very impressed. Somebody pointed out you had kind of like a very Disney-like voice, like a Disney princess character. I mean, you're a princess anyway, but you kind of have the voice of a Disney princess. You didn't know Holly was a princess. I have a pastor friend whose friend, they went to Poland. Like, it's this crazy story. His friend went to Poland, and they're Polish. Their grandmother was Polish or something like that. Their family name, and they wanted to get the family crest for their name. So they went to this place that had, like in Krakow or something, where they had the family crests. and he goes and he asks for the family crest, and the lady, her eyes went, what? And he said, yeah, this is my family name. And she goes, that's your family name? And she goes, hold on. And there was another guy comes out, and they're like, wait, how are you related? How is this your name? You know, what's your name? You know, all this. They pretty soon, by the end of their vacation, they found out that they had like 11 castles and like 24 houses in Poland. They just were like normal people. They went to Poland. They found out they were like royalty, and they had all this stuff. I'm sure you can find the story somewhere. It's something crazy like that. The numbers are not quite right, but it's like, oh my gosh. And the thing is that they every year they were doing a jazz festival at one of the castles. Like, you know, the local city was doing a jazz festival every year at one of the castles, and it was a big deal. And so they kept that going. But what they did instead, they also did like a Christian, like a Christian music festival, another weekend kind of thing at the same castle. So that was pretty cool. But can you imagine? It's like what? Now, if they'd gone there during Soviet era Poland, they might have been executed. Who knows? You know, but fortunately, they went more recently, and so it was like that's crazy. So, all right. So working through all those shapes. I mean, you could just go practice before G to C, G, and then get the D ready to go, and then go to the G, into the C, and the G, D, G. Just practice the chord progression. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna be the hard one. That 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So. And you could do, even if you wanted to, you could go like that. Do down, up, down. Practice that. And if we did it to the track, it actually might be pretty slow. You get that down, up, down, up, down. Here, Michael. And once you have that down, try to do the first 4 notes with an upstroke there. And remember, you can always slow down the track. So if this is too fast, or you can do quarter notes. Not here. You go. So that's where it gets really fun too. When you do the triads, you can start to add notes to the triads, right? Because remember the sus things we learned about sus chords and all that. So if I play the G, I could do G sus by adding the first finger. So I go. You know, like the C, you could do C sus by going to the F, back down, oh, sorry, like that. And then the D I didn't really do anything to. Well, actually, I think I did D7 to D. So you can add the second. Shoot. sudden want to pluck that one for some reason. Sip. What did I do? Did I touch my face? Bruce, what did I do? Sippity sip. I'm cold. Okay, I'm going to leave. You guys can sip. I'm going to leave the room, turn up the heat. It's on the other side of the house, though, so I'll be back in about 10 minutes. It's a big house. It's, 400,000 square feet. No, I'm kidding. It's just guitars. I live in a guitar center. It looks like it, doesn't it? Looks like I live in a guitar center. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to turn up the heat a couple notches. I should have done that before I started, but I forgot. All right, so I'm back. So hopefully you had a sip to kill the time. Face touch. Okay, well that's probably happens a lot. And Sam, I don't know if you heard me say, but or maybe you did. The Greek bouzouki showed up, so I have it. It's not been opened yet, so I was going to do an unboxing video. I'll probably do that. Oh, and Sam, what's the tuning I should do on it? It's an 8-string. Is it a whole step below the top 4 strings? Is that what it is, basically? So it would be C, F, A, and D. Is that right? C, F, A, D. Just so when I pull it out, I tune it right. C, F, A, and D. I think that's a whole step below. Teachers now left the classroom. Exactly. Well, Aslan, you're always leaving, so it's only fair that I get to leave every now and then. You guys were throwing paper airplanes and all sorts of stuff while I was gone, weren't you? Okay, CFAD. Okay, good. So that's great. That'll make it really easy to read on. I won't tune it to standard guitar. I'll leave it tuned that way because that makes it more legit. Plus, if the neck's so long, I don't think I would be able to tune it up without breaking strings. So I'll leave it there. If I want, I can capo, and then I can just think if I'm having trouble reading. But I probably won't. I'm pretty good at reading on once I'm got the instrument in my hand and I'm kind of playing. The guy, he sent it really late. He was like apologetic, so he included a strap. And I don't know if there's a case or not. So I may end up having to order. I think I may order a hard case from him if it turns out to be a nice instrument, it's in good shape and everything. It's brand new, I think. I bought it through Reverb, and so I because I've got so many instruments that don't have cases anymore because I often buy things and I don't buy cases with them. Like I just got that fretless bass. I don't have a case with that. So I have like a gig bag for bass. So if I need to go to a session, I'll throw it in that. But if I need to take 3 basses to a session, I'm kind of out of luck because I only have 1 gig bag for basses. So, I have a case I have the original case for the Hofner, but I don't have a case for the bass 6 or the 5-string bass. And I don't have a case for that. So, and then I have a case for so if I took my J bass and the Hofner and then one other bass, then I'd be fine. I'd have a case for everything. But anyway, you got 4 inches of snow. Oh, gee. Oh, you know what? we talked about this too. I think I just get one of those snow blowers. We talk about, Beth and I were talking about this, like buying my mother-in-law's house someday, and moving back to Indiana. I mean, if I'm gonna, I think about if I leave California, and there's many reasons, but there's many reasons to stay too. So don't get me wrong. I'm not on the hate California bandwagon at all. It's an amazing state in many, many ways. People are actually pretty cool here, and the food is great, and the views are great, and the mountains and the oceans and all that stuff. The coastline drives, all that stuff is great. And then I get to work with the best in the world here. But if we do leave, I want it to happen before we're 70 or something like that, because I wouldn't want to be moving in my 70s. Also, I'd want to move somewhere familiar. I don't think I'd want to move somewhere totally wholesale new. And we do have some friends and family still there back in Indiana. So, but the thing that Sam would be killing me is getting used to the snow again, because that I haven't had to deal with. And I could go days without ever driving, but I think I'd have to get a coffee maker and make my Starbucks at home, because I could walk to Starbucks from here. And from my mother-in-law's house, even though she lives out in the country, I could feasibly walk to a Starbucks, but there is no sidewalk, so I couldn't do it in the snow. I don't know what that looks like. It's just, I think I just get a coffee machine. I make my own coffee every day and try not to leave the house until the snow was plowed. So, but yeah, she kind of lives out in the country, and but the city that she lives near, Greencastle, Indiana, actually has a university there, DePaul, not DePaul. Similar spelling, but ends in a W, not an L. And and it's got a good music program. So I could feasibly do some teaching there if they wanted me to. I talked to him about it in the past. I've got the kind of experience that I think a lot of universities, in fact, USC, which is probably the best, one of the best music schools in the country, top 5 anyway. They asked me to create a degree program. So that, that was 20 years ago or so, but and that was with 20 years less experience. So we're right now about 15 years ago, I guess. So, you have a snowblower, okay? Okay, yeah. So why get the snowblower out if it's not hard to shovel? Plus, the shoveling is a good workout, isn't it? Although I see that would be the problem with me. I'd probably throw out my back shoveling snow. So I would definitely opt for a snowblower. All right, so let's see what else is going on. So Tom moved his live stream to today. We had snow yesterday, and our internet went out. Oh, well, look at that. Oh, Holly, did you answer my question about how long you waited? That was a long time ago. I asked. I didn't see your answer. Excuse me. The nice thing is it's really easy to find your between your green avatar and the blue, moderator color. It's easy to find. Nose scratch. Sip. Outside the nose, but okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. Bruce said that there was an announcement channel too. Tom, TikTok. Yep. And so I'm touching my face again so we can have another sip. Now, there are not many bluegrass finger pickers. It's bluegrass, particularly, they're called flat picking champions for a reason. There's finger picking champions, and that's a different, it's a different event. Finger picking champions, finger pick, and flat picking champions use picks. That's what flat picking is what we've been doing. You waited about 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, because it was actually pretty smart of me on Friday's live stream to put that little thing like, hey, I could do that every live stream. I could change it, but I had this Monday's live stream will be moved. Can I copy this and paste? Ooh, look at this. Can I paste it here? Look at that. I didn't even know I could do that. Okay, so now I edit this. See, like the problem with this is it's unnecessary. This is like that's unnecessary because I'm a bad man. See, oh, wait. What did you say, Bruce? That's why. Yeah, that's true. If you live, yeah, where you live in Sam, where you live in Michigan, yeah, 4 inches is like a dusting. Yeah, New England, 12. Yeah, my sister actually, when she was in Boston, her car was completely buried one time. I was like, oh my gosh. She couldn't even see her car. It was like not like there was the shape of the car. No, it was like the snow was above her car. It's like, how do you get out of your house? I don't, it's just like, that's crazy. Um, I remember the blizzard of '78, Indiana, and almost got caught out because I was having a band practice in my band. We had a barn that we practiced in that was part of this church, and it was like a youth thing. I don't even know why they let us use it, but it was great. It was a great venue to practice in, and I think it had heat. It had to have heat, or else we couldn't have done it in the winter. So when they were, I don't know why they let us. They paid the heat, but we never paid anything for it. So it was a great practice venue. We set up a PA system, and I mean, we did it right. And we were like a disco band. We were playing disco music back in the '70s and '80s. In fact, somebody just posted a picture. Where was that on Facebook? You can't really see me. I have a picture. Let's see. I think. Where would that be? Hold on a second. So let's see. I gotta go. There we go. So yeah, there's a picture I can post. Let's see if I can find it. Could be far back. I'm not sure. I'm gonna open up a folder here. Hold on a second. And it's funny because they posted this picture, and I mean, I look like a little girl. I just looked like a little girl back when I was in high school. It's funny. I got a lot of grief. I probably deserve some of it. If I'm not lying here, let's see. I don't think any of these photos are here now, so I'll see if I can find it. I do like this picture of me. Oops. Here we go. How big is this? Okay. Oh my goodness, this is too funny. Okay, all right. Boop. Caption this. I look like I'm waiting for nuclear winter. It's just funny. Caption that one. There's another one too that, oh wait, you guys will get a kick out of this. We're sharing baby photos now. That's how. Oh, I talked about this thing. Remember we talked about I told you about doing that episode of One Big Happy with the guy that was in the James Bond movie. Remember that? He was a villain in a James Bond movie, and but he's an amazing bass player. I mean, he's actually a world-renowned bass player. He played with Thelonious Monk. So you had 78 and Sam, yeah, January 7th, yeah, the most intensive and nearly most. Yeah, no, it was Indiana too. It was intense. You were basically, school was shut down for 2 weeks. It was crazy. So when am I get rid of this here? All right, so we didn't get a caption. Delete this. So this is what's his name? Shoot, now I can't think of his name. But it was just the two of us, and we were like supposed to be. Oh wait, there we go. Oh, it went okay. I always do that. There we go. Okay. I got two of them in here. Why do I have two? Remove. And so this is the he played a villain in one of the James Bond movies. What was his name? But he's a famous bass player, and I forget he was touring Europe, and somebody from the casting director or something saw him in a like at in a bar or restaurant after they played a gig, and he like I said, he toured with the Thelonious Monk. He's toured with a lot of people. Pretty famous bass player, and but I can't think of his name. He's got a funny name too. Let's see. Hold on. But that was for a sideline for One Big Happy, which was a TV show that only lasted 6 episodes, unfortunately. So I get pennies every year from that. But if it had gone multiple seasons and they were in reruns, I'd be still making good money off of that. Bass players. Let's see. Is he here? Putter Smith. Like I said, it's a funny name. Putter Smith. So if you look him up on YouTube, and he owns like an apartment in South Pasadena, so that's his main source of income is his income property. Let's see. I still haven't found the picture that I was looking for in the first place. Because it's just nothing but squirrels here. But you will get a kick out of it. Me in high school. My hair has gone through so many transformations. I love this. Somebody did this. I need to post this somewhere. Okay, where are you guys? Here we go. Oh man, really hard to do this. I got too many windows. Tell me what you notice about this picture. What do you notice? Oh, wow. That's insane, Sam. Oh, you went from upstate New York to Northern Virginia? It is milder, definitely. Yeah, 5 fingers. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, somebody photoshopped an extra finger on there for me. It's like, well, not fair. I can't. That guy can't give me tips because I can't play what he can play. How your head is struggling to stay in frame. Exactly. That's not. Yeah, it's the fact that there are. Oh, I got to get rid of this. Let's see. That. No. This one. Okay. Remove. Putter Smith. Okay. Yeah. It's. Let's see the 5 fingers. That's the pro secret. Exactly, Ark. Grow a 5th finger. Problem solved. Yeah, I think it would just be yeah, because we lived in even between Philadelphia and DC is a big difference. Philadelphia, we had the winter was harsh, and in DC, the winter was on the mild side, to be honest. So weird. Yeah, and that looks pretty good though. I forget who did it, but okay. Let's see. I'm still on the hunt for this one photo. too many. We're just. It's my favorite subject, me. Let's see here. Oh, it's funny. Here's me playing the before it was mine, the folk singer, the Gibson folk singer. And I'm not seeing. Oh, here I am with Lee Sklar. Let me show you. So, because I mentioned Beth and Lee Sklar backstage at a show. I mentioned it. So here's someone you might recognize if you are familiar with, if you watch a lot of live music, or James Taylor live. So that's me, Beth and me with long hair, and Lee Sklar, my lovely bride, not Lee, Beth. And Lee is a pretty funny guy, and he collects photos of people flipping him off. So he has millions of photos of people flipping him off. That's just his thing. So I don't know if you recognize that face, but oh, this is sad. Here, so here's same concert. This one's sad. Why am I sharing a sad video picture? Okay, this one's sad, but it's that's Keith Emerson. This was a few years ago, obviously, about 10 years ago. But Keith Emerson committed suicide. Emerson Lake and Palmer guy. He had really bad, I don't know if it was arthritis or carpal tunnel, but he couldn't play anymore. And so this is why, and men often tie their self-esteem to their job and to their career. And that's why we shouldn't do that. We aren't what we do. That's not who we are. But sadly, so many men get caught in that trap. To be honest, almost the first question a man will ask another man, what do you do? So when they meet for the first time, and from that we glean each other's identity. It tells us what we think we know about that person, which isn't necessarily true. There's some things you can do, like bass players are stupid. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, I'm not going to post the picture of me that night before going to the gig, but I'll show. Here's a gig photo. Let's see. Let me grab this one here. Oops. Dang it. All right. So this is at a place called the Disconnection. It was an underage. That sounds bad. It was. And they had a lot, back when we were kids, they had clubs that you could go to where they didn't serve alcohol because, and so this was one of those places. It was non-alcoholic. So you see me on the far right there playing the Les Paul that I had. That was like an early 70s Les Paul. That was a fretless wonder. That thing was a pain to play. I don't need this here. And then that was, next to me is Janice. The blonde girl was Janice. She sang backgrounds, and Julian was playing the 335. Actually belonged to the drummer, who you can't see here. The drummer lives in upper state Wisconsin. He lives up north. Brad Ray, the bass player, who I recently just came in contact with, and then Scott was the keyboard player. In fact, I need to email him. And then that's Roger Chase in front with a blue shirt. So yeah, it was pretty funny. That's like, I'm wearing like a white, like satin shirt buttoned down. I have a gold chain on, I think. It's just not good. Where are we? Where are you guys? Oh, there you are. Okay. but yeah, so that Les Paul was kind of unplayable. I traded it for a G&L, which I'm sure that whoever the store was that got my Les Paul was probably thrilled. They knew what it was worth more than what I traded for. But I think I only paid $300 for that guitar. It was from John Dinwiddie, who was like one of my biggest influences, and he just didn't play it anymore because he had another one or something. I can't remember. I don't remember what he had, but yeah, that was Disconnection. It's funny because back when this picture was posted, there were no likes. You couldn't do likes. Trying to think if there's any. Yeah, here I am with the band again. I think there's a better shot of that Les Paul somewhere. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look how skinny I am. And it's just like not getting that back. Let's see. There's the Les Paul. A better picture of the Les Paul. This is at Brad's house. Ah, yes, the paneling everywhere. So those Les Pauls were known as fretless wonders. I think what they were thinking was it wasn't fretless, but the frets were really flat. And I think the thinking was people were playing with lower and lower action, and so you could really lower the action really low and play really fast or whatever, like Al Di Meola or something. But you couldn't bend on that thing. The strings would slip out from under your hands. I mean, you would just struggle playing it. It's funny because my hands don't look much different than they do today. I only have 4 fingers though. Look at the thumb position. Fairly good thumb position there. Big lips. There was a girl in junior high that called me butt lips. And it hurt my feelings really bad. And I was very conscious of my lips. I spent the rest of junior high kind of sucking in my lips. And somebody said, she was probably hitting on you. She noticed your lips because she noticed your lips. It's like and I was so clueless about girls back then. Still clueless. Let's see. So who's, Dennis got a new axe? What? Let's see. Golden refinish Fender MIM. Made in Mexico Strat. With Fender lock. I always get it's like HHS hum single or HSS or whatever. MIM, made in Mexico Strat. With Fender locking tuners. Nice. Upgraded pickups. Okay, nice. Nice. Oh, it's 11. I gotta go. I gotta clean up my office and get ready for this session. So I will see you tomorrow. We'll do some more work on this. I don't think I'll have a song for tomorrow. Maybe I do if I'm just gonna do a real simple kind of exercise thing. But I think what we'll do is we'll try to play along with doing quarter notes with the chord change, okay? So I'll let you know how that goes. But sorry, I kind of got sidetracked here. Don't have a lot to say on this subject, so we may. And thanks for the coin, Lena, and Holly. I appreciate that. Paying for my coffee and then some. And then tomorrow, like I said, we'll continue on these triads, and then maybe what I can do is show. I don't know. I think we'll just stick with what we're doing, and we'll just kind of work it. Because I wish I could see all of you playing. We need to do a Zoom thing. So. So if I put a Zoom invite up on the Discord, would that work? And you guys could, and I set it at a certain time. I said at this time log in, and then we can all see each other. Would that work? See, it would be hard. So the thing that's hard is that when I'm doing these lessons, I really don't know if you guys are getting it. Now the interesting thing is the live chat came to a complete grinding halt when we were working on the right hand pattern. Okay. So that tells me you were working on it, but whether you were getting it or not, just keep practicing that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 pattern. I don't need to worry about the other ones yet, but we could do. Lena, you're on Discord, right? You have if I set up okay, everybody can Zoom. Okay, so I could set up a Zoom thing. That would be different. If we do it at a different time than the live stream. So what I would do is I'd create create an event, put the link there, and then anybody can log in. And then if I have to, I might designate someone as a moderator so we can get rid of anybody who's like getting naked or something. we won't invite Jeffrey Tubin. Let's put it that way. Man, I need to get more coffee. Dang it. Okay, so I will talk to you tomorrow, and we'll pick this up. Yeah, sorry about the photo show. So, okay, you're on Discord. Okay, all right. Well, let me figure out when might be a good time. I mean, we could probably do it right after one of the lessons. I could create it. I have to just figure out how to do this. I have Zoom, but I've never created an event. I've only joined events. Okay, I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory, but anyway, I will talk to you soon. Tomorrow, less than 24 hours. Okay, take care, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.